Welcome to Inside the Newsroom. I'm Anders Gyllenhaal, the Herald's executive editor, and today we reach for the mailbag, where readers have raised questions about everything from two recent suicides to coverage of the Miami Heat. The first topic is our candidate recommendations, which have filled the editorial pages in recent weeks. Some readers take issue with them, of course, while others have asked how these decisions are made. The short answer is that recommendations are made after a great deal of work, hours of candidate interviews, and sometimes years of following these candidates. The editorial recommendations are very different than the standard endorsements from interest groups and political organizations that you read about. We're not looking for just one kind of candidate, but a broad mix of views and strengths that fit both the job and the districts these candidates are representing. That means that we have endorsed both Democrats and Republicans in about equal measure on key state jobs this year, and that sometimes we'll endorse candidates who don't agree with our usual positions. At a time of deep political division, plenty of readers won't agree with our conclusions, which is why we run as many letters as possible giving different views and supporting various candidates. We try to leave some breathing space between the last of the highly charged letters and recommendations, so the last of them will run in about a week. Here is an interesting letter from Krishna Madan, a teacher from Tamarack, who thought he saw contradictions in the way news was played on two tragic stories recently. One was the widespread coverage of the suicide of a college student whose apparent gay sexual encounter was posted on the internet. The other was the scant coverage of a teacher who took his life after being labeled an ineffective teacher in the midst of all the emphasis on education ratings. Quote, "The Herald's vastly different treatment of two recent suicides is revealing," Krishna said. Has the Herald ignored the suicide because the newspaper itself has become part of the chorus condemning teachers and promoting value-added assessments? Well, teachers are certainly feeling embattled these days, but the play of these stories had nothing to do with the victims' occupations and everything to do with the circumstances of these deaths. In the sad case of the Rutgers University student, there was no question the posting of his encounter on the internet led to his death, which came at a time when there's been a lot of focus on gay rights issues, from Don't Ask, Don't Tell to gay marriage. The death of the teacher from Los Angeles was less clear. There was no suicide note, so the story ran mostly in local news in that area. Perhaps it should have gotten more attention. But maybe the more important part of this reader's letter is the question of whether teachers are getting the respect they deserve at a time when salaries and layoffs of public employees are in the news. So we've asked Krishna to put together an opinion piece that we hope will run on our editorial pages in the near future. Here is a letter from Tal Berman, a reader from Miami, who took issue with our coverage of Miami Heat's opening game on the front page with this tongue-in-cheek note. "I would like to thank the Miami Herald for dedicating both the front page and the front page of the sports section to the big three of Miami Heat. However, I found the 3 sentences overview of the volatile chemical flood in Hungary on page 10A to be superfluous information. In this day and age, ignorance is more important than ever." There are a slice of readers who object to any sports on the front page or the home page, but there's a good argument for a blend of serious news, features, and sometimes sports when there's a big game. The more frequent complaint we get is that there's not enough good news in the paper and that we fail to recognize positive stories. Eventually, the Heat's new lineup will become more routine, but it's worth celebrating at the start of this unusual season with occasional front page pieces and photo. As always, thank you for your emails, letters, and phone calls. We very much appreciate your reading the Miami Herald, logging on to miamiherald.com, following the news on our iPhone and mobile apps, and tuning in to WLRN Miami Herald News Monday through Friday at 91.3 FM.